One more thing to talk about before we get into April 19th, if you don't mind, was that we rationed food early on, and that was, we want to make sure that we had enough for the big community that we had. We had 2 MREs a day, which is a meal ready to eat. It's a militaristic meal, and it was just the entree, actually, not all the extra stuff, with 2 ladles, 16-ounce ladles of water. So that's pretty much what we had every day. And sometimes, every week or so, you'd have a can of peaches thrown in. But it was like constant hunger. I lost a lot of weight. I called the Mount Carmel 51-day diet plan, 2 MREs a day, 2 ladles of water. I wish I could do that. Again, I don't seem to have that kind of discipline these days. But it works. That happened through the course of that next 51 days. There was one more thing I wanted to talk about concerning the siege, and that was... We were listening to the Ron Engelman show every day, which became a very important radio show to us. He was talking about the constitutionality of what was happening and how the federal government was overstepping their bounds. He ended up losing his radio show over all this anyway. But it was hopeful for us because we realized that what he was talking about was true, and he was just saying, look, all we're hearing is demonization about these people. We don't know who these people really are. We have no way to find out. As far as I can tell, they're just a bunch of people studying the Bible, living in a big building, and the government's gone attacked, and all they're doing is demonizing these people. There's a quote that I love from history that Senator Henry Clay said in the 1830s, that the devices of power and its minions are the same in all countries and in all ages. It marks its victim and denounces it, exciting the public hatred so it can conceal its own abuses and encroachments. And that's exactly what has happened here. So Ron Engelman was talking about this daily. And finally he had a couple guys on, James Tabor and Phil Arnold, and it was these 2 theologians. And they were talking about the 60-minute tape that David put out, that it wasn't rambling, it wasn't Bible, there's actually some scripture there that they could work with, and they would love to know what the 7 seals really meant and were. That was important to David, whether they meant it or not, and I believe that they did actually mean that they would like to know what his version of the 7 seals. They seemed genuinely interested. They said if we were to write it out, maybe we could work something out with the government where people like Tabor and Arnold could get the 7 seal manuscript, disseminate it within their colleagues, and then David could come out knowing that his message would live no matter what. The FBI went along with that plan, and they actually sent in a computer ribbon, and David started writing the 7 seal manuscript the day before April 19th when they came in with their raid and the CS gas attack plan. A couple days before.
Okay, so...
it was a couple days, right?
Well, David said on April 14th he sent out a letter saying that he was going to write his manuscript on the 7 seals. On April 18th, he said he completed composing the first seal, and they were asking for the word processing supplies to do that. They just had a battery operated word processor, not even a decent computer. And so Branch Davidians, like Steve Schneider, presumably Judy Schneider and so on, they kept asking for these supplies, and the supplies were only delivered on the afternoon of April 18th. So David had already composed the first seal, or the commentary on the first seal, by the 16th. They got the word processing supplies that they needed by April 18th, and then somebody stayed up all night typing it. I presume it was Ruth Riddle, because when she came out of the fire, she had the floppy disk in her pocket. So David had started composing this manuscript well before, the day before, but they typed it the night before the assault on April 19th. Okay.
Very good, thank you. Okay. So the manuscript, or the first seal had been completed on April 18th and came out of the fire with Ruth.